Just wait. This episode takes the cake, or should I say, the dentures. So grab your favorite blanket, hug your dog, and let's get into it. The story kicks off on a seemingly normal morning at the Bagay farmhouse. Well, as normal as it gets. Courage is doing his usual thing, probably trying to avoid Eustace's wrath when something truly strange happens. Muriel's dentures, which she usually keeps in a glass by her bedside, suddenly spring to life. They hop out of the glass, land on the floor, and start marching. But they aren't just marching, they're singing old-timey army tunes. Imagine a set of false teeth, clicking and clacking across the wooden floor, belting out a military anthem. It's the kind of image that's both hilarious and deeply unsettling, which is classic Courage territory. Courage, being the ever-vigilant protector of his home, is understandably freaked out. His eyes bug out. He lets out one of his signature screams. But his duty calls. He knows he has to figure out what's going on. So, summoning all his, courage, he decides to follow the marching dentures. He tiptoes behind them, trying to stay hidden, as they make their way out of the farmhouse and head straight for the barn. The tension builds with every step. What could possibly be waiting for him in there? Knowing this show, it could be anything from a giant chicken from outer space to a talking puddle. As Courage peeks into the barn, the scene that greets him is beyond anything he could have imagined. The barn is filled, from wall to wall, with thousands upon thousands of dentures. They're all lined up in perfect, neat rows, like a massive army standing at attention. There are dentures of all shapes and sizes, all polished and gleaming in the dim light of the barn. They're all completely silent, just standing there, waiting. It's a truly chilling sight. The sheer scale of it is what makes it so creepy. Where did all these teeth come from? Who do they belong to? The episode doesn't give us any easy answers, leaving our imaginations to run wild with terrifying possibilities. Just when Courage thinks it can't get any stranger, a figure emerges from the shadows. This is where we meet our villain for the episode, the Boring Soldier. And let me tell you, his name is a bit of an understatement. He's a tall, lanky character dressed in a drab military uniform with a permanent scowl etched on his face. He's holding a giant rusty saw, which immediately sets off alarm bells. He stomps in front of the army of teeth and shouts in a booming drill sergeant voice, "Smile inspection." His goal is to find the perfect set of teeth, and he's willing to go to extreme lengths to achieve it. He inspects the rows of dentures, rejecting them one by one for the tiniest imperfections. "Too yellow," he'll shout, or "too crooked." It's a ridiculous, almost comedic scene, but the presence of that giant saw makes it undeniably menacing. Courage watches this whole spectacle, hidden behind a haystack, his entire body trembling. The combination of the marching teeth, the massive army of dentures, and this unhinged soldier with a saw is just too much for our poor pup to handle. The Boring Soldier continues his frantic inspection, getting more and more frustrated with each flawed set of teeth. The atmosphere is thick with tension. Courage knows that something terrible is about to happen, but he's frozen in fear. This is a classic Courage moment. He's terrified, but you know he's going to have to step up eventually to save his family. Then the inevitable happens. The Boring Soldier, in his relentless search for perfection, finally spots Courage. His eyes lock onto our hero, and a sinister grin spreads across his face. But he's not interested in Courage himself. He's interested in Courage's teeth. Yes, Courage's own, perfectly normal, slightly crooked doggy teeth. The soldier points his sword directly at Courage and bellows, You have the perfect smile." In that moment, Courage's worst fears are realized. He's become the target. The sheer terror of the situation is overwhelming. The soldier starts advancing, saw in hand, and Courage does the only thing he can do. He lets out one last, ear-piercing scream and faints dead away. The screen goes black, leaving us all holding our breath. When Courage finally comes to, the world is a little different. He slowly opens his eyes, his head throbbing. He's still in the barn, but the boring soldier and the army of dentures are gone. It's completely silent. For a moment, he might think it was all just a terrible nightmare. He sits up, confused, and tries to get his bearings. He opens his mouth to let out a confused whimper, and that's when he sees it. Standing right in front of him, at attention, are his own teeth. They have somehow popped out of his mouth and are now standing in a perfect line, giving him a crisp military salute. The episode ends on this absolutely mind-bending, surreal image. Courage's own teeth have joined the army. What does it all mean? Like many Courage episodes, the March of the Teeth is open to interpretation. Is it a commentary on conformity and the insane pursuit of perfection? The boring soldier's obsession with a perfect smile could be a metaphor for societal pressures to fit a certain mold. The dentures, all uniform and marching in unison, represent the loss of individuality. Courage, with his unique and imperfect teeth, is the outlier who must be brought into line. When his own teeth are conscripted, it suggests a chilling defeat, a world where even your own body can be turned against you in the name of conformity. Or maybe it's a surreal exploration of dental anxiety. Many of us have a fear of the dentist, of drills and tools, and having our teeth inspected. This episode takes that common fear and cranks it up to a nightmarish 11. The boring soldier is the ultimate evil dentist, and the barn is his terrifying operating theatre. The loss of one's teeth is a primal fear, and the episode plays on that brilliantly, turning a simple set of dentures into an instrument of horror. The animation and sound design in this episode are, as always, top-notch. The repetitive, rhythmic clacking of the marching teeth is incredibly effective at building an atmosphere of dread. The stark, shadowy lighting in the barn contrasts sharply with the bright, almost cheerful colors of the farmhouse, creating two distinct worlds, the world of the normal and the world of the bizarre. The character design of the boring soldier is also fantastic. He's just strange enough to be memorable and just menacing enough to be a genuine threat. The March of the Teeth is a perfect example of what makes Courage the Cowardly Dog such an enduring and beloved show. It takes a simple, almost silly premise, marching dentures, and spins it into a complex, terrifying, and thought-provoking tale. It blends horror, comedy, and surrealism in a way that few other shows have ever managed. It leaves you with more questions than answers, and that final, unforgettable image of Courage saluting teeth is one that will stick with you long after the credits roll. It's a testament to the show's creativity and its ability to find horror in the most mundane corners of life. So what do you guys think? What's your interpretation of this incredibly weird episode? Is it a metaphor for something deeper? Or is it just pure, unadulterated cartoon chaos? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.